off on spaceship. Y'all need up like Matrix. And f***ing her like she nameless. Cause the last two was too famous. We got the trophy like a champion. Fell asleep right on the jet. We gone.
Big ring just like a champion. No TSA, hop on a jet. We gone.
Smash out. I call my own and then I smash out. I bought my bros, let's get this cash out. I in my mind, drop the bag off, yeah. I'm going top rate, don't make no bad call. Just bought a new crib, but one was mad small. I trip my cup, I make it mad tall. None of these songs is basic, yeah. Grease stuck in my teeth like braces, yeah. VVS's don't need LASIK, yeah. Ice out crosses freezing Satan, yeah. Finna take off on spaceship, yeah. Y'all need something like Matrix. And f***ing her like she nameless. Cause the last two was too famous.
Hey, welcome into Dynasty Decisions, everybody. This is week 2 of the preseason. So next week, there is no, obviously, preseason games. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the Eagles roster and see who I think is going to be relevant for this season, what type of formats I would play them in, and, look at the long-term aspects of all the guys on the Eagles roster as well. Hopefully you are enjoying some of the new background I got going on, just kind of trying to rearrange things, keep everything, just a little bit more decorative. So if you like what you see, and if you want to see everything else that I got back here, please let me know. And if there's any players that you have any questions about, feel free to reach out to me. We got the graphics down there with my Twitter. Maddie put my Instagram on there for some reason. And make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. Want to give a big thanks to Johnny Uleka for giving me the chance to do this. Love talking fantasy football. So let's get into it. Stock up, stock down. You know how he did it last time. Stock up. I know it's going to sound weird because I'm usually a no Patriots running back room type of guy, but the New England Patriots running back room definitely got some stock up. They shipped Sony Michel to the Los Angeles Rams. Still weird. It's Los Angeles. Should be St. Louis, but that's besides the point. So stock up. First of all, Damian Harris. He looks like he's going to get the majority of the carries there. And then secondly, James White. He's going to be your receiving back. Now, can't forget about Ramondre Stevenson. And the guy that I think is really important to think about here is J.J. Taylor, who was taken last year from Arizona. Actually, I can't remember off the top of my head if he was a UDFA or if he was drafted. But anyway, a smaller guy, kind of like a Deion Lewis-ish stature. Sorry, long day. But he looks to be like he could be the receiving back once James White leaves. So definitely a taxi squash for J.J. Taylor. Now, the rest of the running back room, I think Damian Harris gets the bulk of the carries there. James White's going to be you're moving the ball down the field, screen passes here and there. And Ramondre Stevenson, I said it before the draft, he looks to me like LeGarrette Blount. So do with that what you will. Probably a goal line back. The guy that I want right now is Damian Harris. The guy that I want tomorrow is J.J. Taylor. Now they're stock up, and this is, unfortunately some of these stock up guys are going to be because of injuries, but that's how it is. I mean, I guess if you think about it, it's kind of a good thing that it's not a good thing that the injuries are happening. Looking at it from this perspective of your fantasy team, it's a good thing these injuries are happening now instead of week 2, week 3. You have some time to adjust. We got about 2 weeks until the season starts. So James Robinson, Travis Etienne is out for the season. It sucks. Admittedly, I wasn't the biggest Travis Etienne fan. I thought he kind of projects like a Reggie Bush, which isn't a bad thing, but isn't a great thing necessarily either for fantasy production. I think a guy like that's probably going to be better for a best ball format. And hopefully this Liz Frank sprain doesn't take away his explosiveness. Hey, feet are kind of important to run. But that being said, James Robinson, definite stock up. They really don't have much on the depth chart after him. Carlos Hyde is there. And yes, I know Carlos Hyde's going to be the thorn in your side. He's going to steal a carry here or there, but James Robinson, still definitely startable. Stock way up for James Robinson. Also, stock up for Gus Edwards. J.K. Dobbins going down, playing in a meaningless third preseason game. And yes, Ravens fans, I know you are pissed off right now, and you should be, because J.K. Dobbins looked like he could be everything you wanted him to be, but they did re-sign Gus Edwards. And the other guy that you want, Tyson Williams. Tyson Williams, was a 2020 UDFA. He played at both South Carolina and BYU. Let's talk about Tyson Williams a little bit because I didn't know much about him. So at lunch today, I watched some film. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds, smooth, patient, powerful runner, really good vision. He does not have elite speed. I will say that he's going to get chased down. So what does that mean? I think he's the perfect type of running back for the Baltimore Ravens. Reminds me a lot of Gus Edwards. Big guy, not super fast, probably isn't going to catch the ball a lot. But the way I see it going down is this, and I could be wrong. I think Gus Edwards is going to get the bulk of the carries. I think Justice Hill could get some receiving work. That being said, the Baltimore Ravens are not a team that really throws to the backs a ton, but there are still some targets there. Obviously vacated because J.K. Dobbins is gone. So where does Tyson Williams fit in? I don't know. That's a really good question. Do I think he's worth a waiver ad or a stash? Absolutely. Why not? We're adding games to the season. Guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to miss time. Nobody is immune from that. Also, I don't know what you guys think. Definitely leave it in the comments. Hit me up if you want. Do you think with the added size of the schedule, should they have expanded the rosters or at least let you dress everybody? 53 men. I know the Birds had a lot of cuts that they had to, or that they're going to have to make. It's not September 1st yet. Why not 60 guys? I just really think that would help get through the season a lot healthier. But that being said, stock up for Gus Edwards, Tyson Williams, throw a couple bucks at him on the waiver wire. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th-round draft pick out of USC. The Detroit Lions wide receiving core is a little nebulous right now. Brashad Perriman's gone. I thought he was going to be their alpha or as alpha as you can get, being Brashad Perriman with Jared Goff throwing you the football. But, that being said, everybody hates Jared Goff this year. But everybody last year, they loved Cooper Kupp. They loved Robert Woods. They liked Josh Reynolds. I like Josh Reynolds. They like Van Jefferson. They like Tyler Higbee. This reminds me a lot of when everybody liked Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen in Minnesota, but nobody liked Kirk Cousins. Nobody likes Jared Goff now. Somebody has to pull the trigger on these guys. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't understand why the draft capital was so low. That being said, there's a lot of talent going above him, so I can't hate it too much. Him and Tylan Wallace, I thought, were absolute steals in the 4th round for their respective teams. Detroit Lions can't talk tonight, sorry, and the Baltimore Ravens. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, big stock up. Maybe Quintez Cephas as well, although I heard that earlier in the summer he was on the roster bubble. Kind of weird to me. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is probably the second best receiver on the team after TJ Hawkinson. And also Jamal Williams, if he's available on waivers, DeAndre Swift battling through some stuff right now. I think Jamal Williams could be a really, really good flex play. I'm not going to say that he's going to be a smash start, but if you're a Swift truther, like a lot of people are, I like DeAndre Swift. Wouldn't hurt to have Jamal Williams around. Not at all. So let's talk about some stock down. The Rams backfield. Man, the Rams backfield was bad. And then it added Sony Michel. So Darrell Henderson hurt, had some sort of thumb or hand injury, something like that. Then we had Xavier Jones. He was supposed to be a thing. Jake Funk kept slipping down the depth chart. And now Sony Michel's there. Sony Michel could barely get on the field, was always hurt. Is he going to be the receiving back there? Is he going to be a power back? What are we going to do? What are we doing with this Rams backfield right now? What am I going to do? This is the advice that I give to everybody. This or this. And you don't like either of them? It's real easy. Neither. Stay away. Now, if I had to throw a dart at somebody, I'd say it's probably Darrell Henderson. He knows the system. He's more explosive. I feel like he's a better receiver than Sony Michel. He's going to get the first crack at being the guy. So this is a team that really, really needs Cam Akers to come back. And I know it's from an Achilles injury. So they need something to happen big time. For me, it's Henderson. It's a ways away to Michelle. And even them, probably in a best ball format, I would like them better. Man, Drew Lock. Dude, you can't beat out Teddy Bridgewater. Come on. This should have been a competition, much like Joe Flacco was competing against Jalen Hurts, like PJ Walker was competing against Sam Darnold, like Gardner Minshew, New Eagle, was competing against Trevor Lawrence. Dude, what is going on in Denver that Drew Lock can't beat out Teddy Two Gloves? That being said, Robbie Anderson last year, startable. DJ Moore, startable. CMC, startable until he got hurt. Ian Thomas, dead. He gone. Don't worry about him. So for those people worrying about these guys, the skill players in Denver, all the skill players in Carolina were startable last year. Denver's going to be a bad team. They're going to have to throw the football. Everyone's saying that this bodes really well for Jerry Jeudy. Guess what? I think it bodes well for Cortland Sutton too. I feel personally Cortland Sutton is quarterback proof. Go back and look at Cortland's stats. I'm not going to bring it up for you. I want you to see it for yourself. Look at his stats and look at the people that were throwing him the football. Cortland Sutton has never, ever in his career had consistent and reliable quarterback play, and yet he's been a consistent and reliable fantasy producer. I think he's quarterback proof. Teddy Two Gloves, Drew Lock, it doesn't matter. Brandon Allen, Joe Flacco, whoever, throw him in there. Cortland Sutton, I'm fine with. Brashad Perriman, we already talked about him. He got cut. My fear is he latches on with the Philadelphia Eagles. Relax. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But the guys on the AAT Birds pod, they talk all the time about, maybe a veteran comes in. I don't want that. We don't need anybody to take away from our young guys. I would rather have growing pains this year because we're not going anywhere this year, and we're okay with that. We understand that. I'd rather have growing pains this year, let our young guys develop. So Brashad Perriman, stock down. If you have him anywhere, man, hang on to him for a little bit, see if he latches on anywhere. Just get whatever you can for him. We already talked about Drew Lock. I'm just going to close out and talk about Deshaun Watson. So apparently Deshaun Watson would not trade his no trade clause, and he did not want to come to Philadelphia. It's coming out today that apparently the Houston Texans are ready to go into the season and just have him be a healthy scratch all season. So I did see that Drew Lock talking to the FBI. I'm sorry, not Drew Lock. The FBI doesn't care about Drew Lock. Nobody in Denver does either. Apparently Deshaun Watson was talking to the FBI a couple weeks back. It's not looking good. If you acquired him, now you roster him cheaply in the offseason, hey, you won the trade. You might be waiting for a while. I don't know. It could be one of those things where, you see a guy who for some reason still has Andrew Luck on a roster somewhere, and then you're the guy bugging the commissioner. Can we get an NA spot for this retired player? No, you figure it out, man. Use a bench spot. Last thing I did want to mention too, Trey Lance looks like he messed his thumb up, hit it off the helmet. Man, this happens a lot. I think it happened to Stafford earlier in the season. I remember one time it happened to Peyton Manning. He was telling Jim Sorgi to get warmed up. Hopefully I'm not dating myself too much. So kind of a quick hitter. I'm going to come back next week. Like I said, we're going to talk about what I think the Eagles are going to do from a fantasy perspective as individually, not as a whole. There's some guys on here that I like and I don't like. I'm not going to talk about IDP. Just get Alex Singleton. That's all you need for IDP. Maybe Eric Wilson too. So that's it. And like they like to say on the channel, I want to say again, thank you for everybody that's watched. Thank you for the guys for giving me an opportunity. And until next time, go Birds.